Local elected officials and activists got behind U.S. Senators Cory Booker and Bob Menendez this morning to advocate for common-sense gun reform laws in wake of the Orlando massacre. At a press conference at the historic Essex County Courthouse in Newark, dozens gathered in support of two measures that will be heard in the U.S. Senate today, one that would ban anyone on the no-fly list from purchasing firearms, and another that would require universal background checks to buy guns. Kicking off the presser, Menendez scoffed at the notion that the NRA and gun manufacturers have the advantage in this issue.
But I was reading a national article on the way here, and it suggests that somehow we'll lose today because the intensity on this issue is supposedly on the side of the NRA and the gun manufacturers who continue to be part of allowing this carnage to take place. And we are here in Newark and in New Jersey, and we hope our colleagues across the country to send a message. No, the intensity is on our side because we are tired of going to too many funerals. We are tired of too many shattered lives. We are tired of saying that our hearts and prayers go out to the families. We want to end the violence and end the carnage now. There are more gun outlets to sell than there are McDonald's in this country. And yet, someone who is a terrorist does not even have to go through a background check, or someone who's on the no-fly list doesn't have to go through a background check, doesn't even have to go to a gun shop, can open up his laptop and with a click of a mouse ultimately buy what I consider to be a weapon of war.
The senior senator added that regardless of the political consequences of the NRA, he hopes that his colleagues in the Senate will finally vote with their conscience. He also said that he doesn't believe that semi-automatic weapons, commonly referred to as street sweepers, are about hunting or protection, which is why he voted for the assault weapons ban. Booker emphasized that gun violence occurs every day in urban cities throughout the state, taking over 400,000 lives since 9/11.
Please understand, every hour of every day in this country, we are losing American citizen after American citizen to the horror of gun violence. Yes, there are moments which capture the media's attention where we lose dozens of our brothers and sisters in mass shootings. But here in communities like Newark and Camden and Trenton, in cities all across our country, we know that this is a daily reality. Literally since 9/11, we have lost over 400,000 Americans to gun violence, more than we lost in all of World War II. There are activists here, mothers, and law enforcement officers. So many standing here because we stand in unity to say with one voice, we must make our nation safe. We must protect our homeland. We must deal with this violence in our communities and deal with it by keeping guns out of the hands of terrorists and criminals and those who seek to do us harm.
Recalling how painful it is every time his phone goes off to inform him of another shooting in Newark, as well as the fact that gun reforms have not occurred after other recent national tragedies, Congressman Donald Payne Jr. said getting tough on gun violence is long overdue.
After Newtown, nothing. Aurora, nothing. South Carolina, Charleston, nothing. We get up for a moment of silence, and then we sit down, and business goes on as usual. Several of my colleagues in the Congressional Black Caucus and other members have joined with us, where we don't stand up anymore. Because if that's the only thing that the United States Congress can do in recognizing the issue of gun violence and what is happening in this country, then we don't want to be a part of it. We're tired of community after community facing these issues. And if it's a mass shooting, this is the most horrific thing that I've ever witnessed since 9/11.
His colleague, Congressman Albie O'Series, went after presumptive Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump for claiming Democrats are trying to take away the Second Amendment.
We want sensible gun legislation. Nobody's trying to take people's guns away. You got that lying Trump there saying that we want to get rid of the Second Amendment. That could be the biggest lie. But we will continue to fight. As the senator said, we will continue to put the pressure. But it has to come from the people of America. We can only do so much. You have to get on that phone and you have to tell them, we want sensible legislation. We want you to act on this now. We want you to take guns away from terrorists. We want a background check.
Essex County Executive Joe DiVincenzo gutted LGBT activists, Essex County Sheriff Armando Fontoura, who said over 300 illegal guns have been seized in Newark this year, and Hudson County Sheriff Frank Scileri also spoke at the event. I'm John Heides with the Hudson County View, the eye of the community.